What is up? What's going on, man? Hold on. I'm trying to chase something. Damn, I lost it. Ah, oh, that sucks. I'm at 42 and I can't find this thing. A lot of biology in here, man. Dang, I really wanted to catch that thing. I had to go on a mission. Okay, man. You know what? This is wild, dude. From here, I can see gastrotrees. I mean, look at all the activity. Look at all the life in this sample. 40x, I'm going to go to 100x. Arcella right there. That is a gastrotreek in the background. There's 2 nematodes here. The obvious nematodes is the testate amoeba there. That I don't even know what that is. And then maybe that's that thing in the bottom. Wow. What is that, dude? Maybe a flatworm? Type of flatworm. The sample is absolutely crazy. Crazy. I just turned my microscope on. Gastrotreeks. Let me just say this, dude. This is a compost pile, a compost sample that a compost pile that I've been working on. And I gotta honor Rick over at Gardens and Glass, dude. I honor you, brother. This is a testimony to everything he's taught me when it comes to composting, and it is at a whole nother level. Look at the biology here, and I'm gonna dive into this because there's a lot going on here. I was actually looking at this last night, and you know, I'm fortunate that I get to work with Rick. I'm fortunate that this man just unloads his knowledge on me. I'm fortunate that he's taught me to think outside the box. Don't get caught up with the rules of things, because this sample is absolutely crazy. And Rick, again, I appreciate you, bro. So with that said, I was chasing something that, man, no, that's a roadie. All right, I'm gonna just I guess start from here. So let me get rid of that. And there's so much life in here, but I really wish I can find that other thing. Maybe I'll do that and then edit it. Edit the obvious rotifers. They're always in my samples, but look at how fungal this is. Let's go to 400. I was at 100 magnification. So let's get the fungi out of the way here for those that like to ask if it's fungal. With reason. But yeah, obvious hyphae. Jumping back to 100 magnification. I almost feel like mowing this thing. No, here, check this out. Oh, these things here, what is this? It looks like a slinky. Look at that. I followed one last night for maybe 25 minutes. Look at that thing. I mean, come on. Where did I find that? What is that? We searched. I say we because I was with the microscopy group last night and we got to observe this. So whatever these are now are in my pile, which is great because I will continue to inoculate with this pile. Turn this into a mother pile. Fungi's there. Here's a living in this sample. I'm finding tons of living testate amoebas. This amoeba has a shell that they build from everything around it, and you can see the pseudopods, the little long little arms. They're like blobs inside of this shell, almost like a hermit crab. And they move around with these, again, pseudopods, these tentacles, these fingers, reaching out for bacteria and whatever else they eat. But it's usually pretty difficult. I don't say difficult, but it's not as common to find them alive. By the time you mix up the sample, shake it up, they don't make it, or they get crushed or destroyed. So this is a real nice. I'm finding a lot of them in this particular compost samples. Look at what's going on in here. I mean, this is a beautiful sample of soil. Like, look at this. You've got aggregation. You've got the microbes all gluing themselves. All this is just all glued up to organic matter, creating soil. You see all these pockets that allow water and airflow. Whoa, what is this? Something big is moving it. There's depth to this. Look at these testate amoebas in the mix. And they're probably alive. There's a nematode there as well. I don't know if you can see that. So we're looking at amoeba, and then here you see that stringy nematode. Crazy. Anyway, let me go back to 100. And I'm going to go try to find that thing. These spirals you see here, this is from my spirit. This is that worm I was looking for. Well, it's a worm. I didn't know it was a worm when I was looking for it. I can't identify this worm. I'm looking online and looking through my books. I'm finding things that are close to it, but there's obviously all the little hairs around it. It's definitely a shredder. I've seen it before. I've seen it eat a ciliate before. I think I have that captured in slow motion even. These things are big and they bud, so when they split, they will reproduce by actually it snips a piece of itself off. I mean, there's another one up top. There's a rotifer in the middle. There's organic matter all over the place here. Nothing short of a fantastic compost. Not ready yet. About 2 months to go on it. But I'm excited about this compost, and I'm looking forward to splitting it out to multiple composts. Just because it's got so much life in it. That. What is going on right there? Wow. I wouldn't call that a double cell wall. I think it's alive. There's a couple things that are alive here. That filamentous thing moving, that is maybe some type of algae. I don't know. I have no idea. But this thing in the middle here, where's my mouse? What's up with that? And then this is that filamentous thing right here. That's like algae. I'm guessing that's algae. Testate amoeba here. Spirulina here. We've got this thing loaded, bro. Here's what is that, a ciliate? Yeah, look how fast that thing moves. can see all the little hairs around it. See if I can dial that in a little bit. Can you imagine? I have a whole garbage can full of this stuff. I love it. I love biology, man. And I'll keep it phasing, keep it going, moving to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one. Rotifers are always getting to it, man. Look at that. Workhorses. What? Dude, what? What is that? What? Going on that? Whoa, bro. That is massive. That is like the mothership. That is alive, dude. Wow. I'm gonna hit that with Epi. Just completely disappears, but there's something in there that doesn't. That might even destroy it. This is like the Battlestar. Wow. That's big. I'm at 400 time magnification. I have no idea. What is this? Wow, that is impressive. That is impressive, man. Wow. That is branched out everywhere. That is an amoeba. That is alive. There's the worm. I'm going to use this technique called oblique lighting. Look at that. It gives it this like 3D look. Wow. That is cool. Bro, what? Rotifers just going to come in the picture and just eat. Photobomb it. Look at this pseudopod. These are called pseudopods as they extend out. You can see everything inside of it. Why is it so spread out like that? That's wild. I've never seen that either. That is so cool. That's a predator for sure. It's almost in the Diloptis family. I can't fully identify that though. These things are graceful. But Diloptis is a predator. They got these long necks. And they hunt and they cruise. There's a worm on top of it. These worms are everywhere in this sample, which is really cool. I'm stoked about that because I will now split this into my other compost and keep the diversity going. Again, I'm phasing them. I'm moving them. Keeping the nutrient cycle going and keeping them involved. I ran into these things a lot in the winter. I've noticed. Well, I noticed that last winter. I'm gonna pay attention again this winter. There's that guy, that hairy back or gastrotreek. This is a Vorticella. Cool. I like these. These are filter feeders, like the rotifers. You know, their cilia just create a vortex. They just start pulling everything in. Organic matter, tiny ciliates, bacteria. They are also shredders. And they anchor themselves. Now, Vorticella, there are several that look alike. They're the smallest details that separate what types they are. I don't get into all that. I know that it's Vorticella or in that family. And this is oblique lighting. This is actually really cool. This is by one of our group members, Eagle. He's come up with this technique. We're still working on it, and Hopefully he'll put a piece out on this soon enough. But it kind of pulls things off the glass. These are always fun to look at. I wanted to include this. This is polarized lighting. But this is a piece of organic matter that's lit up. And usually with polarized, you're gonna, everything that's glowing is some type of mineral or something that's refracting the light. Light's bouncing off of it, different angles, and it's usually an indication of minerals. And then the different colors represent different minerals. I do not know them. I do not plan on going down that rabbit hole, but this looks clean. I dig this. I mean, imagine how much nutrients in that, you know. Imagine that fungi and microbes will be able to extend out to this and take what they need from it. It's really impressive. This is a nematode that's shedding its cuticle. So it's shedding its skin like a snake. But I'm noticing that, you see, I read somewhere that they shed from the mouth parts first, which is the top. But in this case, it looks like it's kind of like contracting in here, and the tail and the head are pulling back. And I'm not going to sit here for, I have no idea how long it would take for this thing to completely shed. But see, I thought it kind of reversed its way out of there. But it seems like it's bulging up in the middle, like it's gonna burst the cuticle in the middle, which I know I've seen cuticles that are kind of folded in half. So maybe that's how they shed. They don't necessarily back out of the cuticle. I'll have to look into that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Don't want these videos to get too crazy long. But yeah, this one's about 20 minutes. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Because I can go for days here. I can go for at least an hour. I mean, just look at this field of view here. There's so much happening when you take a good look at it. There's at least 3 rotifers, one of those big worms. I'm looking at spirulina. It's just like a fish tank at this point. But this is how you get it, man. Get your biology right. Keep things moving. Keep the nutrient cycle going. Keep everything fed. Keep your microbes up. And again, another shout out to Rick. I mean, a lot of my technique is learned and practiced out there at Gardens in Glass, and I'm able to bring this technique home and anywhere I'm at. So, grow your soil. I'll catch up with everyone later. I'm out.